Hi, my name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Every single Friday, I do a top-down macro analysis video where I break down Bitcoin, the S&P, the NASDAQ, total, the entire market cap of crypto, total 3. We also look at other things as well to keep you updated. I want you to understand that this helps you see a bigger picture in the market so that you don't make crazy smaller moves and get emotional. And you're able to actually harness. The biggest money is made on the bigger moves. I must reiterate that over and over again. People think it's amazing when they scalp the 1 minute and stuff, and it's fun. But the biggest money is made in the bigger time frames. This video will help you understand that and see it from a bigger perspective. All right, today I'm going to do your macro update for Bitcoin. It's the most important right now. And I got to show you what's happening here on the weekly. So if you watch my channel every single Friday, I do a macro update. Today, I just want to show you what's happening for Bitcoin so you can see what's going down. This is insane. Bitcoin just had a huge pump from 120,000 all the way to 123K. It's been absolutely absurd and amazing. And I just want to kind of take you through what I see happening on the macro and the next few for the next week here too. So big resistance, we broke above it. Looks like Bitcoin's now back above 119,380, and it cleared that resistance so well. The biggest weekly candle close in history if Bitcoin can close this high, and it was the biggest monthly close in history already with this will be the biggest monthly close in history if October stays above 115,800, which looks very, very likely. Now, do we breach this channel and continue up for a higher move in October? It looks like that may be the case, but when we finally get up there, then there'll be a one bearish div. It just looks like we're getting closer to what could be a blow-off top here for Bitcoin at one point. And that looks like we would blow off somewhere into $181,000 February 1st at the very least, and then that might be the end of this rally. I'm saying, I just want to point this out, but it does look like we have some more to go, and it's not over yet. We have momentum on the 1 hour, momentum on the 4 hour. Time frame's looking interesting, to say the least. So the one thing I want to look at is the 4 hour time frame. That's a time frame I would watch closer tonight, and I'd be looking for it to possibly make another little flag. I'd be looking for the 21 to come into price. If you get that in the next, I'd say 4 to 12 hours, you can flag out again and get this continuation further to the upside. So watch your 4 hour. Watch your 1 hour. See if we start flagging out. Look for this 21 to come up. Look, we're getting a golden cross there. Only a matter of time. And then actually, that is a bigger channel. I take this whole length because the way that can move, and I've seen this many times, I wouldn't be surprised if you move up to 131,000. That can happen very, very fast, like faster than you realize. You go sideways, we could be at 131,000 in just a couple days from now. So Bitcoin's very, very bullish. I would watch your 4 hour time frame. Stay focused, and I told you that there's a bigger target ahead too. The monthly looks absolutely absurd and looks like it wants to break out and go to some bigger highs. And I'll show you that I just want to show you that place one more time, that level to watch. Because once we break out of here, yeah, I could see us go up somewhere between 180 to 187 to $195,000. I mean, we'll get a blow off top. It's almost impossible to get the exact number of that top. But we can clearly see there's a big move here on the monthly out of this rising wedge. And Bitcoin is just starting to show signs of a bigger move. Let me do this exactly. Yeah, I brought it down a little lower. That's why I got about, 192, 190K. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to continue. It looks likely. We may get a little pullback here and there along the way, and each week could vary. But for the most part, I'd say somewhere by February or March, I don't see how Bitcoin doesn't rip over 185,000 into 190K. So that's your macro analysis for Bitcoin. I just wanted to break that down and show you kind of what's happening for BTC. I have to look at the S&P too as well because it's been on an absolute tear. The S&P absolutely ripped again today, and we talked about the fact that the S&P was just in this monster move. So, and you can see the S&P kind of following the pump too for Bitcoin, just that liquidity zone getting absolutely raided. It's amazing. So last time I looked at the S&P, I said you was likely going to continue to go further to the upside. And we even gave you a trade here with an entry, stop loss, and everything. And then we said, look for this flag to continue sideways before we pump. And honestly, we just ended up going like straight up. So this is creepy and crazy because whenever I've seen this, it's like, whoa. But at the same time, it's the environment in which we're in, and you got to trade what you see. And so right now, this suggests that we may go higher, all the way to about 100 to 7,000 for the S&P, and my bigger target is 72.70. And everything is going to plan as we told you it would. days ago and weeks ago, and when we did this the last time as well. Here we are again saying this thing's about to go down, but it's making itself a bit of a rising wedge here that break further to the upside over time. So we're starting to see this kind of trend here, and it's also on the NASDAQ. So I made this the lateral flag, but it's so bullish it's in an uptrending flag now at this point. And the NASDAQ is headed to the target there at about 26,615. So the NASDAQ looking absolutely beautiful. There's the target of this bigger flag. There's the target it will get to there. And wow, the NASDAQ absolutely ripping. Bitcoin dominance you would expect to be kind of coming back with a bit of a vengeance while we lose Tether dominance. If we see that money's flowing into Bitcoin, and it is what it is, look at this beautiful tight consolidation. It tells me it's only a matter of time till we see Bitcoin absolutely ripping again and Bitcoin dominance taking center stage. You can see it. And then we'll be at 61% yet again. Doesn't mean altcoins are going to bleed, but they may not pump as hard. And Bitcoin definitely is going to steal the show. And it looks like it's on its way right now. We look at Tether dominance and see what's happening for Tether dominance. And Tether dominance is falling off a cliff like we talked about. We said, look for it not to get tight in there. I want to see a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And eventually did dip to the downside there. So Tether dominance, man, lost the 200 moving average, got rejected, and decided to dump, which is exactly what you're looking for. Look at how it hit the daily 200 moving average and just was unable to get back above that key level. And that's kind of like a broadening bear. You can flag it out like this, and I've seen that dump many, many times in my life further to the downside. So I see that going to 3.18. And that's a bear flag for Tether dominant, shoulder, head, right shoulder. That looks horrible below the 200 moving average. Dump it to the downside. So that's looking good. Let's take a look at the DXY, and I would expect the DXY to be taking a massive tumble right now with Bitcoin kind of in charge. And it is. I see it as a descending triangle. These are the most bearish patterns ever. I see it getting tighter and tighter in the zone and then absolutely collapsing to the upside. We have alt and Bitcoin season, and things are going to just be out of control, ripping to no end. So that's kind of what I'm starting to see here for the DXY, and it makes sense, right? So we did Bitcoin dominance, we did Tether dominance, I did the S&P, the NASDAQ, and then I just want to show you the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency because that is starting to kind of rev up too. And you can see it's breaking out of the bigger flag in which we put it in. I believe it should load. I don't remember when I last deleted this, but I guess it didn't, maybe I deleted it when I was doing something. But I'm looking for this to make a massive move out. It has actually breached, which means it's above this top trend line ever so slightly. It could come back down and hang out sideways, but there's also the chance it starts to make a bigger move and really continue further to the upside as well. I'm overall more bullish on the total market cap, and it to me, it says there is more coming, and once we kind of consolidate and get the right moves, we can head all the way up to $4.82 trillion and then really get this bigger move, which is the whole length here, and that's going to be DeFi, TVL, Bitcoin. Everything's really going to be getting that sauce, and it's $5.83 trillion. So I'm excited. It looks great, and this macro analysis is getting me very, very, very excited. I'm like, whoa. And then we look here. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I see altcoins doing absolute damage. We might get 6 to 7, maybe even 2 more weeks, but then it looks like, as they come in, altcoins are going to start to really get that movement and take over the entire game. So Total 3 looking beautiful too as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. I'll see you on the next one.